Hi, my name is Cameron Watson. I am the artistic director of Boom, and I am excited to share a little bit about the festival so everyone has a great experience with the submission process. I want to just give a little overview of Boom and our mission, and then we're going to talk about sort of the three parts of Boom. Boom Fringe, Boom Intersection, and the site specific piece we're pulling in this year. Kia is going to talk a little bit about the relationship, like what our role is and what we're asking of the artists as they come into the festival. And then I will go through the applications pretty quickly, both the fringe and intersection application. So um, way back in 2012, the Democratic National Convention was coming to Charlotte, and they were going to sequester everyone uptown. And we're like, this huge opportunity for Charlotte to be on a national stage, but they're not. The folks that were coming, we didn't feel like uptown was really like the best representation of the culture of Charlotte. A big group of artists, we had I think 120 artists got together and came up with some pop-up performances and some big large scale visual art installations to be in the uptown space during the convention. And the coolest thing about it was it brought a bunch of artists from different backgrounds together. So I brought my own choreography, and there was theater and spoken word and visual art. And we all were like, hey, we should we should collaborate more often. So it took us a while to figure out what that looked like. As you may know, being an artist in Charlotte is a challenging is challenging. And so we wanted to create an opportunity we felt like if we create an opportunity for us all to present our art at the same time, that could generate some more buzz and amplify all of our work by collaborating. So that's how the festival started. I was one of the artists in the first festival, and then our executive director, Manoj Kesavan, was already the director of the festival. Kia, our communications director, came in 2017, right, Kia, as an artist, or 2016?
2016 as an artist.
You were there as the first year as an artist, and then she joined the administration team the next year. And then our board, and now she's back on staff. And then our other staff member, Alexis, is started out as an intern, an artist during the pandemic, intern, and now she's on staff too. So we're really all a bunch of artists just putting on a festival and making it up until we figure it out, and keep putting it out there and keep trying to create space for artists to be able to collaborate and share their work. Again, hopefully with all of us coming together and sharing our work, it's amplifying everyone's work. I say that to be really clear that we just are, we're making it up as we go along. We've learned a lot in the last since 2016, however many years ago that was. And hopefully we have, become more efficient and learned some things that make the process easier. But we are by no means perfect, and we are by no means like administrators. We are choreographers and creative writers and visual artists and architects and all different kinds of things. We have a core group of artists that sort of help set the vision of the festival each year and participate on the selection committees for the submissions. We get so many amazing works submitted that we can't accept them all because there's just not space in 3 days to present them all. So I say that too, to know that like if your work isn't selected, it may not have anything to do with the quality or the how interesting your work is, but just in our trying to put together a festival that's diverse both in cultural background, in genre of art, in topic that the artwork is addressing, and that each section sort of has different amounts of artists that we can take and support. So so that's a brief overview of the festival. We started in Plaza Midwood. Last year we were at Camp North End. We have not announced the location yet for this year, but that announcement will be coming shortly. And so I'll go into the three parts of the festival. So the festival started sort of as a fringe festival. And if you don't know much about fringe, fringe festival started in Edinburgh, Scotland, in the mid 1900s. And there was a big performing arts festival, and literally the fringy artists that didn't get in, the artists that were edgy and risk taking and trying new things and collaborating across disciplines, applied for the festival, didn't get in. So they decided to take advantage of the artists that are, or the audiences that were going to be in Edinburgh for the main festival. And they literally created a festival on the fringes of the city, producing their works in coffee shops and warehouses and bars and pubs, wherever they could get space. And then that festival became so popular, it's now a month long, most of the month of August in Edinburgh, Scotland. And then fringe festivals have popped up all over the world. There's a huge one in London, there's a big one in New York, DC has a big one. Atlanta, Greensboro, and Asheville all had fringe festivals. And many of us, the founding artists, were taking our work to those festivals. And we're like, hey, there should be one in Charlotte. So that was part of how we started Boom. So Fringe is fast and furious. It's shows sort of like one after another in the same venue, with the idea that you could buy a ticket or buy tickets to all 3 shows and see them in one evening. So the shows are 30 minutes to an hour in length. They should be a pretty quick setup and breakdown. So this is not the show to have the biggest set for. It should be easy to set up and break down. I have gotten excited and done fringe shows with big sets, but we choreographed the putting up of the set and the taking down of the set sort of into our experience, because we know we had 10 minutes to do it. We hope to give you a little longer time than that. Also, Fringe is in non-traditional theater spaces. So these won't be in theaters. They'll be in spaces that were not theaters before the weekend. We will turn them into theaters for the weekend and then break them down again. So it means the lighting, the technical things will be there, but minimal. And people will be sitting in folding chairs. And it's an invitation to take risks, try new things. The tickets will only be $15. So like if you pay $15 and a show kind of falls flat, like we hope it doesn't fall flat, but like if you tried something new and it was like, you know what, that didn't work, it's okay, because it's only $15 and you can go see another show next, and no one will remember it. But also sometimes people start works at Fringe that then, you know, become big shows on TV, like Kim's Convenience. It's a Netflix show. It ran like 6 or 7 seasons, and it started out as a Fringe festival play. So, you know, there's lots of space for experimentation within the Fringe genre. And then we really want Fringe to also be a space, and this is maybe sort of more of a Boom thing than Fringe across the board, is we really want Fringe to be a space for artists that don't have a lot of opportunities in Charlotte to share their work. So sometimes that means that like folkloric works or like traditional Indian dance done in a different way, which is like really high classical work, which maybe wouldn't be considered fringy in some settings, but they're doing something different with it, or it's or you know, there's just not a lot of other spaces for that in Charlotte. So we would consider that also for Fringe. So that's the 30 minute to an hour long shows. You can also submit a shorter length work that would be paired with other works to create a showcase. So that would be like a 15 to 20 minute piece that then could be paired with one or two other pieces to create like an evening length show that you would be splitting the bill with another artist or two. Okay, so that's Fringe. Intersection. So we were like, there should be this space where the artists should be able to meet and the audiences should be able to talk to the artists. And so when we were in Plattston Midwood, we were like, let's use this gravel parking lot, and we put up a outdoor living room space and a stage, and we had programming, family-friendly programming there. So this is a great space for music. It's a great space for family-friendly work. Slots range in length from 5 minutes to 45 minutes. So we don't have very many 45-minute slots because we try to get a lot of artists on the stage. Last year at Camp North End, we used the Boiler Yard stage, which was under the water tower in that main Camp North End space. We put up some lights and sound equipment. We laid down a dance floor so that we can meet the needs of a lot of different art forms in that space. You know, as it gets later in the evening, we're more willing to push the boundaries on family friendly with, you know, so we've had, you know, music groups that have curse words or works that have more challenging themes, and those we'll usually put later in the evening. And it's a very cool experience there. We also have had site specific, workshops by local arts groups where they're working with, like, you can stop by and make something or contribute to a piece of art that's being made. Last year, we had some visual artists make a collaborative mural where they like put together the mural and then people could come by and add to it. We had some kolom, which is an traditional Indian art form where they lay rice flour on the ground and sort of looks like a mandala, and people could contribute to that, and then it gets sort of blown away with the wind. And so it's but it's in this moment, it's a really beautiful piece of work. So there's those kinds of opportunities within that intersection space. We also are going to launch a site specific application once we announce the venue for the festival. And the site specific application will be pretty, like, you don't have to have a totally an idea figured out, just some experience with site specific or some interest in site specific work. This is creating something specifically for a place. So like last year when we were at Camp North End, we had some groups that were like, there is this really cool mural and I want to create a piece and right in front of that mural that ties into that mural. Or there's some really neat stairs over in this location, and I'm going to create a piece that utilizes those stairs, and that the piece can't happen unless those stairs are there, that kind of work. So that will open once we announce the location, and we know the location. We're just like nailing down some details and getting the contract signed before we announce it publicly. So those are the three pieces of the festival. Kia, do you want to talk a little bit about sort of our expectations for artists and what we provide as a festival?
Yeah. So what we provide the tech staff to help you out during your presentation of your artwork. We provide marketing on our end to share about the festival. We put out press releases to get coverage and things of that nature. We need artists to promote their own shows as well. We find that it's more successful when they're getting it from both ends. Like Mert's son from last year, he created his own poster that was outside of the venue and that attracted more people. He also did a lot of online posting about what was coming up, so that helped out a lot. We have a artist lounge, so when you have your downtime, you can meet with other artists and find ways to collaborate. We really foster that belief that people coming together and finding ways to collaborate outside of Boom or coming next year, working together at Boom again is something that we love to see happen and love to help make happen.
Yeah, thanks, Kia. So last year we had 118 different performances and installations over the course of 3 days. And so there's no way for us to push out each of those individually. So yeah, Kia makes a great point that we are promoting the festival as a whole, and we do try to touch on each artist, but it works best when that feels like we're working together on that. We're co-presenting the work because you have your own audiences too, and we hope that like you will bring your audience and the show before you will bring their audience, and then everybody will see both shows, that kind of thing. So that's the collaborative piece that we're really working on. So really quickly, well, we'll go through this as we go through the applications, but deadline. So the Fringe deadline is November 6th. Oh wait, did we change it? I'm gonna go ahead and screen share. What was that?
Oh, November 10th, I believe.
Thank you, Kia. So this is the Boom website. I have clicked here on Boom 2024. Submit to Boom Fringe. I'm going to just quickly go through this application and then go through the Fringe one. There is a Spanish application coming if you know somebody who is a Spanish speaker and would prefer that. I'm working on getting it translated right now. So here is the Boom Fringe application. A lot of the things that we've just talked about are overviewed in this opening section, but I do encourage you to read it before you submit. These are the dates of the festival: April 26th through April 28th. And then this application closes November 10th. So if you're thinking about considering submitting to Fringe, go ahead and pop it in there. And this outlines some of the stuff we just talked about. So we're capturing your email, artist information, your pronouns, name, all those things. This is the contact name in case that's different from the artist name. Like if you're a company, you might have or a band, you might have a band name. And then whoever we're talking to, we want to be able to be like, hey, so-and-so, when we're emailing out. This question, is it a premier, world or regional? That is, we want to know. It has some bearing, but not much bearing on your acceptance. It is nice to know, like if you're performing a version of this show like a month before, it would be great for you to outline why it would be different at Boom and why having it a month before is going to build into your Boom show and not like divide your audience. Is it an original work? We're really looking for works that are created by the people that are bringing them to the festival. That doesn't mean that if you're the choreographer, you have to dance in it, but we're not looking for like produced plays that are produced all over the world to come to Boom unless you're doing something really unique with it. And then do you have the rights to the content of the music? This is playing more of a role in Fringe than in Intersection, because we are selling tickets to the Fringe venue. So the Fringe artists get a percentage of the ticket sales, and the tickets are $15 each. The venues hold between 30 and 50 people, so they're small spaces. Genre, title of the work you're presenting. If you're in the process of creating something new, we love that. That's great. You do not have to tell us, or you not have to be able to show us what you're creating. It can be a brand new work that you're creating just for Boom. That's fine. Just want to make sure that you feel like you can accomplish it. When we're going to let you know in mid-January if you got in, and then like, are you going to have a finished work in time for the festival? So that's what this question is about. Describe yourself as an artist in 3 sentences or less. This could also be your group, just like a short bio. What should we know about you as an artist? Not your work that you're submitting for the festival, but you personally or your group. Why is your group interesting? Like, what have you done? What are the 3 most interesting facts? This is short because we are reviewing a lot of these, and I want to make sure everyone like really gets to read each application. So if they're any longer, a pitch of the show or the work that you're proposing in 3 sentences or less. So this is like your marketing elevator speech. What are you going to tell someone when they're like, hey, so what tell me about your show? This is your elevator speech. Then we give you a chance down here to tell us more about like the process of creating the work, or why this is risk-taking for you. Maybe that doesn't go into the marketing, but you're like, this is something I've never done before. I've done this and it has prepared me for this. Those kinds of questions. This is not like your marketing stuff. And we'll give you a chance to review the marketing information you put in here before we release it out. But just like, what is that pitch going to sound like? Again, because we know that shows that especially are being developed for the festival may change over time. This is the option to apply for short form, the 15 to 20 minute piece that will paired with other pieces. That does mean you're splitting the percentage. So each show gets a percentage of the box office. If there's 3 pieces within your show, or 3 different artists within your show, then you're getting a third of that. But you also have more people to help promote the show. And so maybe the show is more likely to sell out. So that's short form. Fringe form is you're creating your show, which is 45 to 55 minutes. Let me know if you have questions about the time frame. We can talk about that at the end. Schedules are decided by committee and hard to change. Please plan to keep your weekend open. We anticipate Fringe shows each show will present 2 or 3 times over the course of the weekend. So you might have a show Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You might just have 2 shows. You could have 2 shows, one on Saturday morning and one on Saturday afternoon. So keep the weekend open, but also this keeping the weekend open allows you to come and see other work. So if you're selected for the festival, you'll get an artist pass. You'll be able to see some other shows for free. And we really encourage this opportunity, like Kia said, to see what else is happening and to build potential partnerships or collaborations for the future, or just like be inspired by each other's work. So plan to spend the weekend with us, whether you get in or not. I promise it'll be a good time. And like Kia mentioned, there's an artist lounge to hang out in and like really get to know the other artists that are around. If you're not selected for Fringe, so sometimes this happens. People submit for Fringe, especially since its application is due earliest, and they're really a better fit for the outdoor stage or even for site specific. So, but you might say, no, I only want to do the ticketed show. I only want to do an indoor venue. Then you can say no here. But we pay all of the artists, and we'll go into intersection a little bit in a minute. But if you're like, I want to present my work and I think Fringe is a good spot, but maybe intersection is a good spot. Maybe the people that know the festival better will be able to put me in the right place. You can hit yes. And if you have some comments about that, we left an other here, so you can like explain that a little bit more. This is just sort of a reminder that we only are basically providing sound and lights for the space and the chairs for the people to sit in. We try to have a dance floor at one of the venues. So hopefully that will be there also. But anything else, projection, mics, set pieces, like let us know what they are. We will try to meet those needs, but we can't guarantee we can meet those needs. So you should also have a plan for figuring out how to provide those yourself. Like I went to Atlanta Fringe one year, and you know our show just like decided halfway through our planning of it that it needed a projection. So we brought a projector and a projection screen with us and built that into our setup. And then this is, can you bring your own materials and equipment? And then we pride ourselves on being one of the most diverse cultural events in Charlotte. We really want to have all different kinds of artists in both genre and cultural background and race and gender and age and sexual orientation and all the things. So just give us a little information. This is just because we don't want to accidentally have a festival of all of one kind of people. We want to be really intentional about making sure that we have all different kinds of artists. The next piece is work sample description. I don't know why this is formatted weird. I will see if I can fix that. But we're only going to watch 3 minutes or spend 3 minutes reviewing written material or photos. So submit whatever best shares your work. This, you can describe it and give us a link if it's like a video on YouTube. And here's a space to upload a work sample. So if you have more than one image or something, you can compile them into one document or one PDF or whatever and upload it. If you have trouble with this part, the reason it's not listed as required is if you have trouble, you can email me at chaoscharlotte@gmail.com and I can add it on the back end. So there's that information is in that top section of the application. So if this doesn't work and you need help sharing your work sample, feel free. Again, the work sample does not have to be the work that you're going to present at Boom. It should just be like a way for us to tell the caliber of your work in general. So if you're making something all new, great, but just share with us something that can like give us an idea of the caliber of your work. We also want to be open to people with all kinds of ways of learning, expressing themselves, disabilities, all of that. So if answering these questions in written form is not your best mode of communication, you feel free to make us a short video. It can just be you on your phone. It is not about the quality of the video. It could even just be an audio file of you telling us the answers to these questions. So feel free to submit that, and you can either do a link on this first question or upload the file here. Again, same thing. If you have any trouble with uploading it, feel free to email me and I can help because I have access to the application on the back end. Okay, so that's Fringe. Intersection, I shouldn't have stopped sharing. I'm sorry. Intersection is a lot of the same questions, but I'm going to go through it quickly as well, just so that we are all seeing all the things. Sorry, the Zoom people are so big on my screen. Okay, so then intersection is just down a little bit further. Again, there's a lot of great information in this first part, so please read through it. These applications are not due until January 31st. We will notify you no later than March 15th. It just takes a long time to process these. Last year we had like over 100 intersection applications, so it was a lot to review and then discuss. We want to pay all of our artists. And the slots are 10 to 50 minutes. We know that we just don't have the budget. We're a small organization of artists that are just trying our best to write some grants and get some sponsorships. Last year, we were able to pay our artists, individual and solo and duet artists, $75, and groups $125. Our goal is to grow that every year, but it may not always be the case. It just sort of depends on the fundraising. I don't think we'll shrink it. So I think you can count on at least that much. We recognize that your work is worth a lot more than that. This again is just like an honorarium, a stipend, recognizing that all artists should be paid for their work. If you can find a sponsor for your own show or get a grant to help support the development of your show, we are happy to support that in any way that we can. Okay. So again, basic contact information, zip code, is your project a premiere? We went through some of this stuff already. And then this is a little information like where would you like it to be presented? A stage we utilized both stages at Camp Northern last year. We hope to have more than one stage this year. They could be in different kinds of locations. So just tell us like what you're expecting and what you need. And then if we have a different idea, we'll come back to you and present it. And then this is also maybe a better space for visual artists. Though I'm open to visual artists being in Fringe, I just love to talk to you about what that looks like. The title of the work you're presenting. So art, this could mean your music show, your art piece, your dance piece, anything falls into that. We're using art in the universal sense across forms. Same thing, 3-piece pitch for marketing material. Anything else we should know about the behind the scenes, like what's your process? What are you working through? What are you developing? Describe yourself. This is the same bio question. So we want to know 2 things. We want to know about your art, and we want to know about you, the art, the specific thing that you're going to present at Boom. And then we want to know about you as an artist overall. Okay, so sometimes those questions get a little bit redundant, and I want to be specific about what we're looking for in those 2 different spaces. The length, is it how long, and is it flexible? I think most, especially like big bands, would love to go for 45 minutes to 2 hours because setup takes a lot and they have a lot of music to share. We just like don't have that much time for anybody because we're trying to have a lot of artists represented at the festival. So just depending on where you get put in the schedule and stuff, we may be asking about the length. But if you got something that's really like, this thing is 20 minutes and it has to be 20 minutes, like we want to know that too. And that's okay. It just affects like our scheduling and also, how many works we can accept because there's just only so many hours in 3 days. Anticipated location, tech, and space needs. Again, at the main stage, we're offering sound equipment, a dance floor, and lighting. If you want to be somewhere else or have other needs, let's talk about it, or maybe you can bring it yourself. Demographics of the cast, we talked about this, and schedules, same thing. Again, the same thing with the work samples. We just want to get a sense of who you are as an artist. The shorter, the better. That gives us a great glimpse of you because there's just a lot. Hopefully we will have a lot of applications like we did last year. And then this is the opportunity to tell us about what you're doing. If you don't want to answer the questions in written, or if you want to do both, that's fine too. If you're in our new site-specific program, we will be able to see the venue and create a piece that suits the space. This will be outdoors likely. Would you be interested in being considered for site-specific? So this is for people that are like really excited and know they want to do something and don't want to wait for that site-specific application. You can fill this out and put yes there. So that is the application. I am going to stop recording. So those of you who are watching this after the fact, feel free to email me any questions and I will try to get them back to you. And in scene.